into those, and then we'll do a loving kindness meditation. But this can be interactive, a few questions along the way, and I'll also pause. We can discuss anything there. Before we get started, I think we'll just sit for a moment if that's okay. So as I mentioned, I want to talk a little about the 4 kinds of love in Buddhism. They're also known as the 4 immeasurable minds. And I had the opportunity to learn a little about them last fall when I was giving a speech at my father's wedding. I was looking for something to talk about different kinds of love, and I've been studying Buddhism, and they fit perfectly with what I wanted to say. The first one is loving kindness. The second one is compassion. The third one is joy. And the 5th one is equanimity. So, does anyone here has had experience with those? Or some? I see some mixed. I see some yeses and some no's. So, I'm going to go into each one of them, kind of what it means to me. But when we're thinking about all of them, I think a good example, like a real life example that I thought of, was a puppy. So when you see a puppy, I mean, I smile when I see a puppy. What's not to love? What's not to love about a puppy? They're just so cute and all of that. You feel kindness toward them, caring towards them, all of those things, right? And then if a puppy were to hurt him or herself, you definitely feel compassion when you're thinking about a puppy. Right? You don't want the puppy to suffer. The puppy's so fragile, and just my heart goes out with compassion when I'm thinking about a puppy getting hurt. And then joy or spontaneous joy. I mean, my eyes light up when I see a puppy. I mean, they're just flopping around. You know it's a puppy. You know it's not a dog. It's just, wow. Just joy comes over me, right? And I have a dog, so I've gone through all of these things. And also when I think about a puppy, I see like my dog will chase a squirrel up a tree and he doesn't get it, and he's all deflated and all that. And I'm like, I don't allow myself to go on the highs and the lows of what the puppy's experiencing. Puppy's on its own journey and going on those highs. The puppy didn't get the squirrel. The puppy's deflated, but that's the puppy's thing. And yeah, it's kind of a good way to just think about all the ways that I interact with a puppy, help me kind of think about all the different kinds of love and kindness. And 4 different kinds of love there, starting with loving kindness. So when we think about loving kindness from a Buddhist perspective, it's loving kindness for all sentient beings. So that's everyone. That kind of blows my mind, because we have people that we feel loving kindness to, right? It's going to be your partner, your spouse, your mom, your dad, your child, whoever that is in your life. Like, you have this loving kindness towards them. But it's really expanding that to other people outside of your normal realm. And the extreme for me from that is thinking of, do I want to have loving kindness for, let's just say, a political figure that I don't agree with, right? Of whatever persuasion that may be for you, but can you feel loving kindness or send loving kindness to that person? That's pretty difficult for people sometimes. So a good word for me, I think about it as goodwill. Can I send them goodwill? I may not agree with what they're doing. I may want to influence change, but I could still wish them happiness and goodwill. So that's kind of my interpretation of loving kindness. It doesn't mean taking on their suffering. It doesn't mean those kinds of things. You're not controlling the person. It's just goodwill towards them. Does that make sense? All right. The next one is compassion. And that's wishing beings to be free from suffering and the causes of that kind of suffering. And I think compassion, a lot of people have an idea of what they think compassion is. There's physical compassion, could be a hug, could just be active listening to someone, taking the time to take a moment and hear what that person's saying. It's not pity on someone, it's putting yourself in someone else's shoes. And that's the idea of compassion when we're talking about the 4 kinds of love in Buddhism. The next one is sympathetic joy. And when you think about sympathetic joy, it's just being happy for someone else. It sounds really easy, but it's without being jealous, right? So someone got a promotion at work. It's, oh, how come they got the promotion at work and not me? And just being happy for them and not being hurt by their joy in any way. And I mentioned my father's wedding. I was just so happy for him, and just elated that had happened for him, and I was gaining nothing from it. So some people find this difficult. They're like, how come, he got the girl? Or
I do is enabling. So thinking that I'm helping people, but actually by swooping in and kind of taking care of, trying to end their suffering or trying to take care of the things that they need to face in their life, it robs them of that opportunity to transform. Just like you were saying, if the puppy doesn't get the squirrel, well, puppy's got to deal with it. So, probably not explaining it very well, but it was kind of like a codependency thing. And then it kind of, that kind of becomes an addiction, right? Because what I realized, because I do a lot of journaling, I realized that I do that when there's something that I don't want to deal with. Mm-hmm. So I'm numbing by that enabling behavior. I get to swoop in and solve somebody's emergency, but I realize that it's really out of trying to avoid something in my life.
Yeah, and equanimity, a lot of things that I read have talk about addiction, and not necessarily of drugs and alcohol, but of food, mm-hmm. or people or other things, and finding that balance. And I think I would bring it back kind of to the 4 noble truths of Buddhism, where having that wisdom, and that's mm-hmm. the hardest part, is having that wisdom of when do I get involved, when don't I get involved. And for me, it comes back to intention. I think you used the term people pleasing or getting in the middle of things. What is our intention about that? And we think about, is the intention to help me, or is the intention to help someone else, right? So that's a good place to always go back to, is intention, and saying, okay, what is my true intention here? What is the wisdom of that? And what's the balance? I think that's where equanimity comes in, is thinking about the balance over there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Because if you had asked me a month and a half ago, I would say, oh, the intention is to help them. But more self-discovery, more self-awareness, and I realized, no, it's actually because I'm trying to avoid something.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Nice. There's loving kindness is, I don't want to say it's difficult, it's the easiest one to understand, I think, out of the 4, but it's difficult maybe to do in practice. There's this, because you think I think I'm a nice person, and I'm assuming all of you are nice people, right? But are we really getting out of ourselves and helping others and trying to wish everyone kind of that loving kindness. It's in Buddhism known as Metta. There's a story of this guy who lived on a busy road and would go out every morning and wish everyone, make sure they had a good day. Run out in the morning, all the people going to work, hey, have a good day, have a good day. And then at night, he would go back to the road as everyone came home and, hey, have a good day. And everyone had their windows up and couldn't hear him. So this reporter came out and said, what are you doing? Like, they can't hear you. And it's like, it's not about them hearing me. I'm sending my wishes to all of them, whether they hear that or not. And I think that goes a little bit into the meditation that we're going to do in just a moment or two. So I think we kind of highlighted some of the benefits of these 4 immeasurable truths. They're called immeasurable because you can always have more of them. You can always have more loving kindness. You can always have more compassion. You know, it's not like there's, hey, my compassion's full, I'm done. You can always have more compassion. You can always have more spontaneous joy for other people. And we all can bring more equanimity into our lives. So when you think about it that way, that's we may have to get rid of some of that anger that's in our lives to allow that in, but it's immeasurable, and you can always have more. So some of the benefits of taking this practice, and like I said, we're going to do a loving kindness meditation in a moment, but the benefits are we stop thinking about ourselves and our own ego and kind of open that up. The benefits are we can relate better to people, and if we're a nicer person and are spreading that loving kindness, then it's contagious and it kind of spreads to other people and other people. I don't know if anyone's old enough to remember the Clairol commercial. See, you tell 2 friends, who tell 2 friends, who tell 2 friends. And it's that contagious nature that we're trying to spread here. So I just want to pause for any other questions or comments. Yeah?
So do these 4 types of love, is that just love towards others, or is it also to yourself?
It's both. And I didn't mention that in the beginning, and you'll see that in the meditation, but loving kindness towards yourself, you can't help anyone if you're not okay. It's kind of that, attend to the small children first on an airplane, but it's definitely that. It's a subset of that is like romantic love, but the focus of this is not romantic love, but definitely compassion towards yourself, loving kindness towards yourself, and with equanimity, it's not about the puppy necessarily. It's also about like my life, without going into the sordid details of my past, was a roller coaster, was just crazy, 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 and I much prefer the merry-go-round. So that's personally what I like. I think you have to take care of yourself first. The military is all about, you can't help a wounded soldier if you're wounded as well. So take care of yourself kind of thing. Again, the old adjective of help the child put on their mask on the airplane before helping yourself. Or put on yours first, Put on yours first before helping that child, because you can't help someone if you're not okay. So you'll see that as we go through the meditation, and it's for those, if you haven't done a loving kindness meditation, these are there's various different kinds, but this is the standard kind of one that's done. And what we're going to do is first focus on ourselves and wish ourselves that we're going to wish ourselves some happiness, some safety, wish ourselves to be healthy, and I'll go through this in detail, and also for us to be at ease. And then we're going to go through someone who's close to you or someone that you love, and wish all those things to them. And then the next one is someone kind of neutral, and I'll go through this as we go through it. I'll explain it more. But someone that you know at the grocery store, someone you see every day, but maybe you say hello to, but you don't really know. And then someone that kind of disturbs you, someone who bothers you, maybe someone you have an aversion to, and then all sentient beings for everyone. So it's kind of a practice, and the more you do it, the more you get to train your mind about it and bring that into your actual practice. Because I think, it's one thing to sit here for an hour a week, or maybe you come every day, and it's one thing to sit here and think about these things, but to bring them out and become aware of them, right? It's easy to do it with a puppy. For me personally, it's harder to do it with certain relatives that I have, right? Family members. That can be a challenge, and that's where I at least need to bring it out, is in my daily practice when dealing with coworkers or relatives. And if I do it on a daily, then I don't need to worry about, like, oh my God, it's Thanksgiving and I need to see all those relatives. I'm going to go crazy. I have those things in my toolbox already. So before we begin, are there any other questions, comments? Great. So take a comfortable posture, comfortable seat. I find having the back straight, kind of sitting upright, allows a little bit more airflow. I also like to kind of move my neck and kind of just make sure I've loosened up a little bit. And then for me personally, make sure my shoulders are down. There's a lot of tension when you hold them up. I'd like to get the tongue off the roof of my mouth. It just lets you kind of sink in a little bit. So having a good posture, you can gently close the eyes or kind of gaze down. And we're going to start by taking a deep breath in and a deep breath out. We'll do that again. And we're going to begin with ourselves. And giving ourselves some love and kindness, because we spend the most time in this world with ourselves. And bring a sense of kind of warmth and care to yourself as you breathe in and as you breathe out. And then gently follow these phrases, repeat these phrases gently and sincerely to yourself. And imagine the words just kind of spreading some warmth as you breathe in and relaxing you as you breathe out. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. And repeating these words in your mind. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Repeating these phrases sincerely to yourself. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be healthy. May I live with ease. Now bring your mind to someone that you love, that you care for, someone who makes you smile. Could be a family member, could be a mentor, could be a friend, could even be a pet. Now visualize them in your mind and let your heart feel some warmth and appreciation for them. And we're going to change it. Instead of saying, may I be happy, when you're thinking about that person, that pet, whoever that may be, think about and repeat to yourself, may they be happy. May they be safe. May they be healthy. May they live with ease. May they be happy. May they be safe. May they be healthy. May they live with ease. Keeping that close one in your mind and in your heart as you repeat. May they be happy. May they be safe. May they be healthy. And may they live with ease. If your mind wanders, just come back to them. May they be happy. May they be safe. May they be healthy. May they live with ease. Before we move on, I thought we'd open our eyes for a moment. I just wanted to see if anyone, from thinking about someone that they care for, any feelings arise, any overall benefit from thinking about that. Make your mind a little calmer.
I was thinking about my friend who I don't talk to them anymore, but I'm not sure why, but we stopped talking. It's upsetting. So just being positive about it really was helpful.
Yeah, I found it was helpful just to get out of my own ego, because I was had a really rough day, so I was just kind of dwelling on the stuff that happened today, and so it was nice to kind of just divert my attention to that other person.
Which is one of the cores of meditation is concentration and focus, whether it be on this or your breath or whatever that may be. Awesome. Anyone else? Yeah.
I felt joy with the idea of seeing all the people that are, kind of in that inner circle in one place. I realized I don't think I've ever experienced that, just the sight of that, because they're always around other people that maybe have done something bad to me or something, but to see them all in one place it gave me joy just to think about.
So you didn't think about just one person, you thought about a whole bunch.
Yeah.
All right.
It was like I was thinking about two, and I was like, oh, this person too.
Mm-hmm.
That person. There were a few that I don't feel that feeling because of stuff we've done. So, but yeah.
And that's the difficult part. Like I use the extreme example of I don't know, the person you hate the most or political, hate, quote unquote. It's hard for me to have love and kindness for them, but I can wish them goodwill. I wish they wouldn't do this or that, but doesn't mean I want anything bad to happen to them, kind of thing. That's why there's always room for more. It's immeasurable, if you will. So the next one, we'll kind of get back in our posture, but the next one's going to be a difficult person. So someone that you know that maybe rubs you the wrong way a little bit. Not someone who traumatizes you, but just kind of a little bit difficult over and over and over again, right? Notice any resistance that you have to it. And that's okay, that's natural to have some kind of resistance. You're not approving of their actions, but you're wishing them some goodwill. Again, like my example of the extreme, like a political figure that maybe I don't like, or maybe a certain relative that knows how to push all my buttons. I don't know if anyone else has one of those, or if I'm the lucky one, but I have someone who just pushes every single button. I still, may they be happy, may they be safe, may they be healthy, may they live with ease. So is that a little more difficult this time?
Yeah, it actually wasn't that difficult for me. I've done the meditation before, and I normally just pick someone who is, if the feelings are really just too raw, like it's like someone that's too problematic. But this time I just picked someone that was just annoying, you know, not somebody I would lose sleep over, and it was easier, it was more effective to see how I could send that more easily. And then, you know, if I could do that for him, I could do it with more problematic people. So it was pretty effective.
Something you build up almost, as I mentioned. It's, you don't walk in, or I don't walk in thinking I can just wish goodwill to everyone. So that's interesting. That's really interesting. Anyone else? Oh, go ahead.
I thought of 3 people, and I was just imagining their faces, and I realized that I feel this kind of sadness, like a loving sadness, I wouldn't want to be them, and I just feel, I don't want to say I feel bad for them, but I felt like it must be really hard to be them, and that gave me this feeling of not feeling against them in any way. So it was like emotional.
Would you say maybe compassion?
Yeah, I think it was compassion, because I was feeling their pain a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But I think we got to be careful. We don't want to take on other people's
Right.
suffering. We're there for them, but maybe I think of compassion as understanding. You can kind of understand where they're coming from, being in their shoes, and yeah, that's great. Yeah.
I feel that I'm kind of in the same boat. I have a hard time with the compassion element because I think I fall into the pity element for people. So I feel bad. I pity how they're an upsetting person or a miserable person or someone that impacts me, and then I pity them rather than understanding it and feeling compassion for them. So I think that's kind of a line that I walk.
Yeah. I mean, everyone in the world is suffering in some way, right? And we all come from these different places, and I think having that understanding that everyone is on their own journey and everyone suffers in some way, because we always think it's only us and don't think about the other person. But when we can have that lens to see, you know, we're all just a bunch of kids trying to get by. They call us grown-ups, but let's be honest here. We're all trying to figure things out. And I think understanding that is the compassion part, but not having that equanimity not to get pulled into it as well. So that's interesting. Thank you for sharing. So I broke one of my rules and I didn't go in order. I don't know if anyone knows, but I forgot to do kind of thinking about someone who's neutral. So if you've done this before, you may have caught me. So we're going to go back and kind of think about, before we go to all sentient beings, just taking a moment, getting back into our breath, and thinking about someone that's quote-unquote neutral. So someone in your life that you see, you're familiar with, but you don't have an aversion to, and they're not someone close to you either. So maybe you get your coffee at the same place every day, and you know that person that gives you your coffee, someone you see at the grocery store, someone who's an acquaintance at work. And let's try to send them some loving kindness, someone that you probably wouldn't think about doing this for. So we'll take a moment, Again, relaxing the shoulders, sitting up straight, allowing yourself to breathe. Taking in a deep breath. Deep breath out. Doing that again. Deep breath in. And a breath out. Settling into your breathing and thinking about someone who has that neutral relationship with you. Someone that maybe you're not aware of, you don't think about on a day-to-day basis, but is in your life. Someone with maybe a transactional relationship. Kind of picture that person in your mind, and then we'll go through the same process. You have that person saying, may you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, may you live with ease. May you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, may you live with ease. And thinking, sending these thoughts to and for this person, someone that you probably don't or haven't thought about in this way before. May you be happy, may you be safe, may you be healthy, and may you live with ease. Any thoughts on that one?
I was thinking about Sandy at the liquor store. Guy. It's pretty nice.
All right. Sandy at the liquor store. Probably don't think about him that much, except when you're there.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know him too well, but talking to him every day. So,
Yeah, that I was thinking of my yoga teacher, but that made me feel very calm and peaceful. And then it was interesting. It was kind of like a shared experience. I don't know. I just felt like I was also sending it to myself.
Interesting.
It's nice.
Thanks for sharing.
I don't know why, but I thought some a lot of my thoughts are really random, like people. And it was like all the people that deliver my food, like on DoorDash. I was just like, so even though they're getting paid, like they deliver my food, and I don't think about them like I would someone doing something nice. So I was thinking that, and like cousins I haven't talked to in a really long time. So it was like insightful thing about people that are in your life that you don't even think about that much.
And I would say maybe they are doing something nice for you.
Yeah.
There's a thing that I learned in Buddhism is, taking a moment to think about all of the causes and effects that make something happen. So when you look at a bowl or dish or plate of food, right? Like all of the things that have to come into that to make it happen. It's not just you going to the store, or someone delivering it. It's someone who had to rig it up, had to stock the shelf, had to put it on the truck, someone who had to grow it, someone had to water, someone had to get the water. There's a book called Thanks 1,000, and it's all about this person, this man who decided he wanted to understand where his coffee came from. And he started at the coffee shop that he goes to, and first he thanked the person that makes the coffee. And then he found out who actually makes the lid. It was kind of a special lid, and he went to the guy who designed the lid. And then he went and found out where the water comes from. He was in New York City, and he went up to the lakes, the reservoirs above New York, and talked to them about how the water's treated and how it got there, and learned about the reservoirs that flooded the valley and the people that lost their house. And talked to the relatives who had lost their house. And he went all the way back to South America, to the people that actually grew the coffee, and the people who drove the trucks. And we think about how everything's interrelated, and I think that's a little bit about what you were talking about is, I don't think about all the things that make something happen or the people in our lives that are just kind of there. It's a short book. It makes a great Christmas gift if anyone's interested. It's Thanks 1,000, all about where does my cup of coffee come from in the morning. So, it made me think of that. I want to be cognizant of time. We're going to do one more. And this time, this is one that's hard for me to get my arms around. It's for all sentient beings. So you think about all of the, when you think about if your cat is hurting or is injured, it's like, oh, my cat. But we don't think about maybe the cheetah or the lion in the forest, right? That's a cat too. We think about the people close to us, but we don't think about all those other people all the time. And there's a lot of us out there these days. So this meditation is thinking about everyone and however you can think about that and all beings out there and wishing them wellness out there. So again, we'll take a deep breath in, deep breath out, and bring your awareness to all beings near, all beings far, human, animal, the ones that we see, the ones that we don't see. And imagine your loving kindness, your heart kind of spreading out like ripples in a pond to everyone. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all beings be healthy. And may all beings live with ease. And repeat that to yourself with whatever visual you kind of put in or thought that you have. May all beings be happy. May all beings be safe. May all So what do we think? Is it difficult to think of everyone out there, or is that just me?
I think I missed you.
Yeah.
Start thinking about war. I guess freaked me out. It was a little difficult to think about all those people stopping fighting. But other than that.
Yeah, for those that didn't hear us, I'm thinking about war and all those people, and how to stop the fighting out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's there's a lot going on in the world,
Yeah.
and I think that's maybe where equanimity comes in, not be overwhelmed, but to do what you can do, we can do in our own little space here.
Yeah.
Anyone else? Awesome. So that's a loving kindness meditation. I hope you enjoyed yourselves tonight, got some value out of it. Fun fact, this is my first time leading one of these, so thank you all for being here. I appreciate it and participating in it. So we'll close with transfer of merit. Any merit gained from this practice be transferred to all sentient beings that may be suffering at this time in every direction. Thank you very much, everyone.
Thank
Do you have any announcements?
you. Yeah. It's just the run of the mill.
All right. Hi, everyone. My name's Erica. I'm tonight's host. We opened the Dharma Bum Temple 18 years ago to introduce Buddhist practice to those who show up. Those who lead are not nuns, monks, gurus, masters, or teachers, and are not looking for students. They are simply practitioners sharing their interpretation of the practice. Every night we have different classes led by different people from various Buddhist traditions. We have a recovery sangha that meets several times a week for anyone with addiction problems, and our food redistribution program meets every Thursday at 4:30 p.m. We have classes and programs every day, and everything we offer here is always free. The full schedule is on our website and posted in the entryway above the shoe rack. We have a lending library. If you see a book you like, feel free to borrow it and bring it back whenever you are done with it. Please straighten your seat or cushion before you head out, and if a few people could stay behind and shut some of the windows, that would be very helpful. Thank you for being here. We wish you well and hope to see you again. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone online. Sorry for the freezing.